Let's go.
Yeah, I was want to get off to a good start against these guys before they could bury you.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate the confidence.
Can the Arkansas Razorbacks stop the Tennessee Volunteers or at least slow them down? Comment down below. Okay, so when you play Tennessee, what they are known for are the wide splits of their wide receivers. They normally line outside the numbers, and what it does is it puts your DBs on island. So what you have to do versus Tennessee is you have to be able to defend the run with light boxes while at the same time your DB stepping up and making plays on the outside versus receivers. It's really hard to do. This also has some really good protection passing off the stunts here as Tennessee is trying to hit a deep shot here on 2nd and Murfreesboro. And look at this absolute dime right here from Nico. He missed a deep shot in the first drive of this game for a touchdown. This time he leads Squirrel White. You would like to see Squirrel White be able to keep his feet and score. The ball was a little bit ahead of him. It's still an absolutely massive gain. This is a switch vertical, right? Or some people call it scissors, right? You have your big wide receiver come right over here for a vertical, and then you have this other receiver go behind him in an effort to create some traffic, and that's exactly what happens here. This is not a pick. Bru McCoy's just running his route. As a DB, you have to be able to work around this or pass it off, where you now pick up Bru McCoy and this DB now picks up Squirrel White. It's really hard to do, especially since Tennessee has stud athletes. The safety steps up for Bru McCoy on the inbreaker, and now you just read this to the other side. Okay, a longer developing play, you would like to see that blitz get home, but that is really good complementary offense. Now, this is where it gets really difficult because up to this point in the season, Nico hasn't been dominant because they really haven't needed him to be, right? Tennessee has pretty much blown out every single opponent that they've played, especially in the 3 Power 5 games that Nico started going back to the Iowa game. This is what happens. On the very next play, they run everyone up, only 16 seconds off the play clock, and this is what you have to do versus Tennessee, right? They stretch these wide receivers out. You've got to have dudes in the box that can make freaking plays, okay? Now, this is not the alignment that NC State probably wanted to be in because they had the slot corner out here basically guarding nobody, right? So, or safety, whatever. This is not what you want, but because Tennessee goes really fast, they're able to go right into this next play in a run game where this guy's basically serving no purpose. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guys in here to stop this run, and you've got 6-ish guys to block it. Guess what? They're going to eat you up all day. The way Georgia has beaten Tennessee over the years is just having dudes in the box that can stop the run with light numbers in the box. NC State has 6 players. They don't have the playmakers to defend this run. This is absolutely nasty stuff by 74. And guess what? They're just running over you, okay? Down Bishop, a pretty solid player. Dylan Sampson, of course, their best running back. Sam Pittman brought him up as an absolute beast.
I'm walking up and down the locker room. I'm looking everybody in the eyes. I'm like, they can't hang with us.
So many say the key to stopping Tennessee is stopping their run. And if you're an Arkansas fan, you know that you've already shut down an NFL running back in Ollie Gordon. Now, that doesn't look as good up to this point in the season because Oklahoma's run attack has been the most disappointing in all of college football up to this point. But overall, Arkansas's only had one team this year average over 4 yards per rush in any game, and that was Auburn. Even last week versus Texas A&M, they have really good running backs. You're able to shut most of their run fits down, okay? So, I know I didn't say that smoothly at all. This is what you have to do versus Tennessee, okay? Arkansas here is not in the best spot to stop this run, okay? You get a little pre-snap motion, and you're in a too-high look, and you could just do a quick numbers count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 versus 6. No one can really account for the running back unless the safety runs into the run fit, and you'll see the safety is coming from all the way back here. So if you're Oklahoma State, on just the initial look of this play, you have to like where you are, okay? But guess what Arkansas does? they win the battle at the line of scrimmage. You can see that the DT here, Ball, is doing a 2-gap, right? He's looking through this gap to see if Gordon is going to go through here. And then Gordon says, look, a gap is opening up here. This defensive end is just far too wide. But watch this end cut underneath to get in there. Davalier to help tighten this. Ball was able to 2-gap and get over the top right here. And guess what? This run goes for no gain. So in order to stop Tennessee's running attack, you've really got to have 5 to 6-ish guys only in the box and have those guys step up and make plays. That's how Georgia was able to get it done. Arkansas and Tennessee fans, I am going to put you in Josh Heupel's shoes for this play, okay? So I want you to watch this play and tell me if you think this is a good play by the Arkansas defense in the context of the Tennessee matchup, okay? And just for giggles, I'll do it one more time. And by the way, we do an Arkansas show every Monday at 5 p.m. Central, and we do a Tennessee show every Tuesday at 5 p.m. Central. I appreciate both fan bases showing me so much love on our film reviews. Now, this looks like a really good play by Travis Williams' defense, but if I'm Josh Heupel, I am licking my chops. Arkansas brings one extra guy into the box, all right? And then they actually bring an extra guy into the box right at the snap, okay? So you can see Oklahoma State, 3 rushes to 8 passes. They want to try and get Ollie Gordon going. So let's first take a look at the actual fit. Arkansas in this game, and just so far this year in general, they have had some issues being lined up correctly at the snap, okay? You get a little stem right here from the defense. Tennessee loves that, right? They run fast, and sometimes defenses aren't prepared and ready to go, and that can get you in a lot of trouble defensively. The second thing is look at how many numbers Arkansas is committing to this box. Tennessee wants you to do this, right? Alan Bowman actually makes a bad decision. This safety bit in tight enough to where if this truly was an RPO, you want to throw this, right? Tennessee loves their receivers in a 2-on-2 matchup, okay? All right? Pull, throw, and guess what? You got a blocker and one guy here to make a play, and that's a long distance. So if this was an RPO, this was a terrible decision by Alan Bowman, who should be filing for AARP because it's its 9th year in college football, okay? Now, that's not the most alarming thing for Arkansas on this play. It's actually the bottom of the screen, okay? Look at this. This safety is looking at the snap here to the corner, and the safety was like trying to get something communicated here to Braxton, who's been hurt. So guess what happens? Safety immediately goes to the run fit. Tennessee has the highest play action rate in all of college football. You know what Tennessee's going to do? Well, I'll show you. All right? Open up your hips. All right? Outside leverage. Bang, bang for a tutty. Now, how do I know this? Well, let's actually go back and watch some more Tennessee clips. All right, so let's put everything that you've seen together into one nice bow. All right? Oklahoma has better players up front than what Arkansas has, okay? And guess what? They are playing this how I would play it. You still, though, have to execute everything, and that's what makes this Tennessee offense so tough to stop. Look at this. A very light 5-man box, all right, with the 6th guy kind of center field right here, okay? So, guess what? You would think Tennessee is going to be running on these light numbers, but it's a play-action fake, all right? So let's break this down from left to right. Remember the first play you saw? They're trying to do the switch verticals again, but this time it's with a motion, all right? So Bru McCoy is going vertical, and guess what? You have Squirrel White going right behind it. This is really good stuff right here from the Oklahoma defense. They have watched a lot of film. They said, look, we are not going to get beat on these stupid-ass switch verticals, okay? And it stopped. It's crushed, all right? And Nico sees it. But guess what happens on the opposite side of the field, all right? Corner opens up his hips like that Arkansas corner just did. Start off looking left and then working back right, all right? Play action fake. This is a really good pass rusher from Oklahoma. The play action had him stifled in a run fit. And look at this pocket, and look at this ball right here. Bang! All right? Nico is really good at throwing in breakers. You can't have this deep safety join the run fit and have the corner play outside leverage on the receiver, okay? You'll see the corner is in outside leverage on the receiver, which means he is on the outside shoulder of the receiver running the in-breaker. Okay? You can't have outside leverage here and have no safety help right here because it's just going to get you crushed every single time. And I'm just going to show you, man, it's really not the corner's fault. He's thinking that he has potentially some safety help to the inside. Oklahoma was thinking, hey, if they do run a slant, we'll have this guy in the window. It's tough. It's really, really tough. I understand. But once again, you see outside leverage, open hips, you're just giving away the slant. You're just giving this away, all right? Arkansas does not have the corners to keep up with Thornton or McCoy either. You don't want that, all right? And it also helped that Nico hit this guy right in stride. Easy read from Nico. Of course, it looks very complex with the full field read. He's starting off looking off at this safety. Looks right. Works back left to see if the switch vertical is there. It's not. And then he works back right. And, man, you're just going to get cooked. You're just going to get freaking cooked. You can't have these big Tennessee wide receivers that are fast have that easy of an inside release. They're just going to cook you. Believe it or not, this also happened earlier in the game, right? Outside release, giving away the easy slant to a big-bodied receiver over the middle. Now, do I think Arkansas's defense stands a chance? Well, the truth is, I actually cut a lot out of this film study. I wanted to keep it somewhat abbreviated because I actually like Travis Williams as a DC, and as any Tennessee fan would tell you, I'm a huge, huge, huge Josh Heupel fan. I do think there is a mismatch, though, between the two of them because Travis Williams' defense likes to be aggressive. Aggressive. But overall, I think Arkansas's defensive line is a little undervalued. I do think they are pretty solid. They're going to have to play the game of their lives. And if I was Travis Williams, I would trust those guys in the box early to see if they can get the run fit correct with 6 guys only in the box. Now, more than likely, it's not going to work because Tennessee's run game is really good. But I would at least start off doing just that. And there are some creative ways of doing that I've yet to see Arkansas really try to do because they really haven't needed to, okay? The second thing as well is one thing that really concerns me about Arkansas going up against Tennessee is the comeback routes, right? If you try to stay on top of their verticals, guess what Tennessee likes to do? They like to run option routes, right? Where the receiver is reading the depth of the corner and he has a choice whether to come back and play the comeback game, right? And guess what? Last week versus Texas A&M, Keon Stewart decided to do a coach 30, piss down your leg. Davis missed tackle attempt. For those that got that reference, you're my kind of college football fan. And they were able to house it. So on those comeback routes, you've just got to give Tennessee those 10 to 12 to sometimes 15-yard gains and just stay on your feet and just make a tackle or gang tackle. Mitigate the damage. You don't want to do that, right? I cut out that whole portion of today's film study. So versus Tennessee, the key is pretty simple, and I know this will sound very oversimplified, but Tennessee's offense really is not that complex, right? It's not. Ask any Tennessee fan. It's just what they do very well. And what they also do is force your defenders to step up and make really, and I mean really difficult tackle football plays. It's one of those things where if you have the athletes, you could do it. That's why Georgia has been able to stifle the Tennessee offense and pretty much every other team can't. It's because they quite literally had the dogs to pull it off, okay? Now, tomorrow we will do an Arkansas offense versus Tennessee defense film study, and that might be the more concerning matchup if I am breaking this down. Actually, I do think it's a more concerning matchup because Tennessee's defense, as you can see in the background, has been really freaking good up to this point, okay? Oklahoma gets a pretty good run here to the outside, and Jaquinton Jackson's a better running back than number 2 here, Barnes for Oklahoma. But can you take advantage of the opportunities that they give you? It's tough, man, because they are nasty, this Tennessee defense, even though in the secondary they do leave something to be desired. So now, I do have a little bit of a cheat code for Travis Williams. Bang! This would be the game plan I would steal from last year because this team did a really good job in stopping Tennessee, okay? It is Power Hour SEC. Boom! Comment below. Let me know what you guys think. And tonight, we are doing burgers. Let's go.